Hello everybody. So in this lesson 11.4, we're going to be working on understanding the concept of area. And the essential question we should be able to answer by the end of the lesson is, how is finding the area of a figure different from finding the perimeter of a figure? So we've been practicing finding the perimeter, which was just basically counting the distance around the outside of figures, right? We added up all the sides. So what is area? Well, area is the measure of the number of unit squares needed to cover a flat surface. A unit square is a square with a side length of 1 unit. It has an area of 1 square unit. So that would be this picture right here. So it's 1 unit on every side. Okay. So this is considered 1 square unit. So if we were trying to find the perimeter of that 1 square unit, it would be a perimeter of 4, okay, because we'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd have to go all the way around it. But as far as the flat surface, it's just 1 square, right? I can't fit a second square inside there. It's just this 1 square. All right, so I have a geoboard here, and I have a couple rubber bands. And it says, use a geoboard to form a figure made from 2 unit squares. Okay, so if you don't have that, obviously you can follow along, but in geoboards, each of these squares is 1, okay? So in the whole geoboard, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 square units. And activity A says, form a figure made from 2 unit squares. Okay, so you can just take a rubber band, and it would outline 2 unit squares. So it's 1 unit length this way. So 1, 2, 2 long, and 1 wide. And you will find that 2 times 1 is 2. So we have a length of 2 and a width of 1. Okay. So on your dot paper, what would that look like? Well, you can choose anywhere in here, but when we combine 2 dots on dot paper, that's one unit. Okay, so we want 2 units. Okay, so that's what it would look like on the paper. And I'll put a little dash here because there's dots here and here, right? Okay, so 1, 2 square units. Could have done it multiple ways. We could have gone that way. That still would have been 2 units, 1, 2. Okay, all right. So what is the area of this figure? 2 square units, 1, 2. Now, it wants us to change the rubber band so that the figure is made from 3 unit squares. Record the figure on this dot paper. Okay, so I'm going to leave the area of 2 there. And this time I'm going to make an area of 3 square units. So now, if you look at it, we have area of 1 square unit, 2 square units, 3 square units. It has a length of 3 units and a width of 1 unit. So the perimeter is not 3. The perimeter would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because we'd add up all the sides. The area, though, is just how many squares fill the flat surface. So my flat surface is outlined by the rubber band. So how many square units cover the inside of that rubber band? 1, 2, 3. So what is the area? So on your dot paper, this time we need to find 3 squares. So I'm going to start here. Okay. And that's the beginning of 1 square, right? If I came down here, that would be 1 square. So let's keep going. That's 2 squares. Extend it out one more, we'd have 3 squares. Put dashed lines just so we can kind of see all the 3 squares. Okay. So the area inside the rectangle is 3 square units. Okay, we could have also gone vertically. Well, you still see that we could get 3 square units. So what is the area? 3 square units. All right, so let's move on. Now, draw 3 different figures, figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, each made from 4 unit squares. 4 unit squares. So if I was to grab another color rubber band, maybe this white one, and I went all the way across, right? I'd have 4 square units. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's what we need to do. For at least one of them, we need to make 4. Okay, and we happen to be able to get 4 squares long. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 1. Okay, so that's 4. I'm a 4 by 1. Let's look back now at these. Is there a way of changing this green one so it has an area of 4 without making it the same as this one? We need 4 squares. Well, here's 2. What happens if we make that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 square units. 2 by 2. Okay, so let's do that. So 2. Okay, that's 2 long, 2 wide, 2 long, 2 wide. And you don't have to put these dash lines. I'm just doing that to show you where our 4 squares are. 1, 2, 3, 4. So figure 1 was 4 square units, right? 4 in a straight row. 2 rows of 2 gave us 4. Now what's one other way? Well, if I turn this one, it's still going to look the same because it's a square. Can I use this one but make it go long ways? Like, so we're looking at it right now like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. What if we turned it? We still have an area of 4, but it does look different. This time it's going up and down vertically, or I can have the 4 square units going left to right horizontally. So they would be different figures. So we can go 4 down, 1 across, 4 up, 1 across. And if we put the dash lines in, you see that it still has an area of 4. All right, so how are the figures the same? Okay, they're the same because they all have 4 square units. How are they different? 2 of the figures have side lengths of 4 and 1. and the other has sides of 2 units. So how the figure is different? They look different. Okay, this one's a long rectangle. This is a square. Okay. Right now, number 1. Shade each unit square in the figure shown. Count the unit squares to find the area. Okay, so get something that we can shade with. So I know that that's 1. Okay, that's 1 square. 2 squares. So by the way, on grid paper, it takes 4 dots to make a square, right? Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 square units. We can verify that by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So how many square units fill this flat surface? 6 of them. It takes 6 squares to complete it. Okay, number 2, count to find the area of the figure. So it doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to start here on the left-hand side. That's 1, right? Here's 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6. So it's 6 square units, right? There's 6 squares inside that shape. Okay, how many squares are in this shape? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 square units. Easy, easy, right? Okay. How about the area of the last one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 square units. All right, so now, right area or perimeter for the situation. So if we want something to cover a flat surface of something, we want to find area. If we want just a border or something that's going to go around, something like a fence of your yard, we wouldn't want to cover our whole yard with fencing. But the outside, okay, the perimeter of the fencing is what we would want. So that's what we're going to do with these. So buying a rug for a room. Well, wouldn't you want that rug to cover an entire kind of flat surface? Because if you just get the perimeter, you're just going to have a little circle of carpet or rug. It wouldn't be covering the whole thing. So we want to find area for a rug for a room. Okay, putting a fence around the garden. Like I said, with the fence around a yard. You're not going to cover every inch of that garden with a fence, just the outside. So there, if you just want the outside measurement, we want perimeter, the distance around something. Number 7. Okay, count to find the area of the figure. 1, 2, 3. If you want to put the little dash lines to indicate the squares, easier, go ahead. Okay. Number 8. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put in all the dashed lines real quick. All right. Now, how many squares do we see? We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 square units. Number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I came up with 7 square units for number 9. Number 10. Again, you don't have to put these dashed lines in. If you can visually see the breaks, okay, like this one, it didn't have the dash line, but it was 2 square units. It's not 1. So square units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 square units. All right, number 11. So if you want to just count yours without putting the dash lines, go right ahead. All right, so I've turned those all into squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is not part of the figure. It's on the outside of the figure. That's why it's white. It's not part of the figure. This section right here is not part of the inside of the figure. It's on the outside. So the area has to be inside the figure. So there's 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 square units. And number 12. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, does every green square have a number? Yes, so 11 square units. All right, number 13. Write area or perimeter. Painting a wall. Okay, well, think about that. At your house, if you have paint on a wall, you don't just paint a little strip all the way around it, do you? Don't you paint the whole wall? Okay, or half of the wall one color, another half another color. Well, that bottom half, you're painting the whole bottom portion of that wall. That's the area. You're not painting a little strip. So area would be used to measure for painting an area of a wall. Covering a patio with tiles. Okay, well, if we're going to cover the whole patio, we don't want a border. So that's not perimeter. We want area. Putting a wallpaper border. Okay, this one gives us 2 key words. Border around. So that time we just want perimeter. Because we're just going to go around like the top edge of the walls. And 16, gluing a ribbon around a picture frame. Around a picture frame, again, is the key word there. Perimeter. The picture inside the picture frame would be the area. What is the area of the picture? What is the perimeter of the picture frame? 17. Nicole's mother put tiles on a section of their kitchen floor. The section included 5 rows with 4 tiles in each row. Each tile cost $2. How much money did Nicole's father spend on the tiles? All right, so we have 5 rows of 4 tiles, and each tile costs $2. So we got a couple steps there, right? We first got to figure out how many tiles the father bought. So it says 5 rows. Okay, 5 rows of 4. So we could just make an array, right? The squares. Okay, that's 5 rows of 3, 5 rows of 4. So how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have 20 tiles, and each tile costs $2. So 20 sets of 2. So basically, a math problem would be 20 times 2. Okay, I could just go 2, 4, 6, 8. I could count each of my squares counting by 2's. Or 20 times 2 is the same as 20 plus 20. So that's 40. So each tile costs $2. They're going to spend $40 on tiles. Okay, 468. Juan will put fencing around the outside of the enclosure. How much fencing does he need for the enclosures? Around the outside. So 1, 2, 3. It goes 3 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across. 1, 2, 3 down. 1 right there. Just steps in 1. And then there's another one right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 going across the bottom. Back up 1 and across 2. So we have to add 3 plus 7 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2. Okay, so let's see, make sure we have the right amount of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. All right, so let's simplify these. 3 plus 7, 10. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 1 plus 3, 1 plus 2, 3. Okay, now 10 and 4 is 14, plus 5 more is 19, plus 3 more, 22. So we need 22 units of fencing to go all the way around. Okay, you can also go this way. 3 plus 7, that's 10. 10 plus 3, 13. 14, 15. 15 and 4 is 19. 20 plus 2 more, 22. All right, now Juan will use grass sod to cover the ground in the enclosure. How much grass sod does Juan need? Okay, so here we want to fill the whole enclosure with grass. So we have to find the area. Okay, oh, I didn't connect these two. All right, so it looks like we have squares everywhere. So let's just start numbering them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have rows of 7, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 square units. So again, if we want to cover a whole thing, we want square units. How many squares fill the figure? If we want to go around, it's just units. Okay, number 20, draw 2 different figures, each with an area of 10 square units. Well, wouldn't one row of 10 be 10 square units? I think it would be, right? Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back those same 10. Okay, is that 10 squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10. Now, what's another way of making 10? Let's count by twos. Okay, so there's 2 right there, right? 2 down. All right, so we have 2 right now. Now we have 4, 6, 8, 10. So all I did was count by twos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So a 2 by 5 and a 1 by 10 would give me 10 square units. All right. Number 21. What is the perimeter and area of this figure? All right. So I lost power there for a second. So if it's kind of cut off, hopefully we can get our answer here. So what we were doing was finding the perimeter of this shape. And so we were counting the outside edge. And so there was 6 units down, and there was 6 units across. So we're at 12. And then we're going to start counting by ones here. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So the perimeter is 24 units. Okay, so how many square units? What is this? How many square units fill this staircase looking figure? So you can put in dashes to make sure you don't skip any squares. Okay, so I've listed all the squares, and now I'm just going to number all my squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 square units. All right, so explain how you found your answer. For the perimeter, for the area, I add up all the squares on the inside. Okay, so again, let's look at the explanation. So, we came up with a perimeter of 24 units by counting all the way around the outside of our shape. For the area, we came up with 21 square units. How did we get the 21 square units? We added all the squares on the inside of the figure, and we came up with 21. So that's it for understanding area. Okay, area again is the number of square units covering a flat surface. Perimeter, we know, is the distance around the outside of a figure. Okay, so in our next lesson, we'll continue to practice and measure area. So until then, may the numbers always be in your favor.